Alright, first thing you need to do is let's jump into free play. This is where I think most beginners should be spending all their time. Now, of course, the game doesn't tell you this, but I will. I think you should be in free play until you learn how to hit the ball more efficiently and drive your car. So, let's start here. Let's turn that unlimited boost off. We're not even gonna really worry about boost too much, but the point is to get these pads. And so, if you're a brand new player, all I want you to do is drive in a circle. Hit every pad on the outer edge of the ring. And just tap your boost every now and then. Hang on, let me turn this off, sorry. This is called Bacchus mod, by the way. There we go. And I want you to just do this, and then do it as fast as you can. Now let's try holding boost the whole time. Yep, we missed one. That's all right. Just go on to the next one. After you get this down, go outside of the norm. Try to hit all these small pads without letting off boost. See. What this is going to do is going to help you remember where all the small pads are. Now, if you notice, there's kind of a pattern to small pads. There's always like this roundabout to get to your goal line. Almost always makes a good oval. What this does is say if, let's say you have the ball right here, you're the opponent, right? The ball's going, okay? Or let's say they're going down center field. You can swoop around them and get to your goal line so that you can get the save and have boost. So once you get good at this, and by the way, you should do this every day to practice, just to warm up. But once you get used to doing this, now we need to get the ball. So you can press up on your D-pad and the ball will spawn. Now, what I want you to do is not try to hit it towards net. I want you to try to hit it towards the boost pads. Do that same pattern we were doing, but with the ball. If it goes up the wall, don't bother chasing it. It'll come back down. And don't let it go into the goal. We're trying to avoid that part. And then after you do the couple laps like that, once again, we're going to hit these small pads and do it. You don't have to like be touching the ball, just be near the ball. That way it's still kind of in your possession. Every now and then you might have to toggle the ball cam so that you can see where the next boost pad is. But it's important to stay on ball cam so that way you can see where the ball is. Alright, the next piece of advice. So if you're starting to take the game a little more serious, I want you to go into your settings. And I want you to go to your video settings. Now you don't have all of these, but you do have VSync. I want you to turn VSync off. VSync is awful for frames. It's just bad. Turn it off. Next, if you have any of these, I cannot remember, but yeah, put these about where I have them. I always leave anti-aliasing off, stuff like that. But I know console players have this stuff. What you want to do on console is turn this down as far as you can. Performance, high performance, same for all of them. On your effects intensity, you want to turn it to low intensity. Now I run a higher end build PC, so I can run a little bit higher stuff. but I still don't even run it that high because I still want more constant frames. And then you can set your settings similar to this. High quality shaders you may want to turn off on console, but you may leave them on as well. Dynamic shadows I leave on so that I can see where people are in the air or the ball is. Motion blur, always turn motion blur off. I don't know a single game that has good motion blur. And then transparent goalpost, you want to leave that on. Another thing you can do is come over here and go, you can turn your interface scale down. This isn't as important. Your display scale, again, not that important. But this is where the importance comes, nameplate scale. You can turn this all the way up to 200%, and the nameplates will be huge. It'll be gargantuous. If you're an early on player, I highly recommend doing this. If you're getting towards like the high plat, low diamond area, or if you're already in the diamond area and you're still using 200, I recommend lowering it down a little bit. Because then you become a little too dependent, and it also kind of crowds the screen. These are my camera settings, by the way. You don't have to use these, but they're pretty standard. Alrighty, the next step. I know people are dying to like do all the fancy mechanics, but I promise you these mechanics are going to get you scored on more than you're going to score out of them. I promise it. So my advice is, if you're going to practice mechanics, first do it with limited boost in free play. Not unlimited, limited. Because when you're in a real game and you're trying to do something you're used to doing with 100 boost, you're probably not going to be able to do it. So practice with limited boost, that way you know exactly what your limits are. So if you're just learning to air dribble, yeah, it's best to do it with limited boost. Same goes for your flicks, your carries and stuff like that. You want to get used to doing these with limited boost. In fact, with carries, I would recommend learning how to do carries with as little boost as possible. Now, while we're on the topic of carries, let's talk about it. The dribble. This is a very, very, very strong mechanic early on. Only issue is, early on, and I recommend this as well, people challenge everything, as they should. However, if you can read the challenge and you already have the ball in your car, you can just flick it over them. The other option is to drop it in front of you and then take a low 50. You'll usually win it that way. Now, how to carry is always easier to do it fresh off of spawn. You're going to drive up, and then right before you touch the ball, you're going to brake right about here and then gun it again, hit the gas, and then tap your boost right as you're about to touch the ball, but let off of it immediately, and then boost again to get underneath it. It's also easier if you don't have ball cam on. Ball cam will make it spin around the ball and do all kinds of crazy stuff. You don't want to do that. The next tip is watch that circle on the ground, that little white circle right there. This is where the ball is. This is where it's going to be. And then the inner ring is how far away the ball is. So you see as the ball goes up, that gets smaller, and then it'll start to get bigger as it gets closer. Now the goal to carrying is keeping the momentum of the ball going the same direction of the car. Now, that's a duh, but that's easier said than done. You see, if the ball starts getting ahead, you want to get the ball a little bit behind the center of the car. And if the ball is going behind, you want to try and get it in front of your car. But there's a little balance point that's perfect. And once you get that, it'll be easy to keep carrying. Now while you're carrying, you want to learn how to keep carrying over top of these little boost pads right here, because you're going to be using boost to keep going. So it's better to dribble at an angle. Going on, I just wanted to take a moment to do a shameless plug. If you want to come check me out live, I play Tuesday through Friday usually on Twitch /PLZ_RL. So come check me out. I'd appreciate it a lot. All these clips right here were caught live, so yeah, hopefully I'll see you there. Alright, so that's about everything. I appreciate you hanging out this long. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps me out. Hit that bell if you want to see more stuff like this. And if you have any more ideas for me or any questions, just leave it in the comments below and I'll try my best to get around to them. I try to answer any questions anyone has. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. And as always, have a good day.